Digital photography made simple.
Hi again, welcome back to Digital 1-to-1. On this segment, we're going to be bringing you another part of our series on the basic scene mode settings. We're going to be talking about the night scene mode. And the symbol on our camera looks something like this. The reason why we're given a night scene mode is because it allows the camera to see the ambient lights at night, like in a cityscape or perhaps a campfire. But most of the time when we take pictures at night, we don't think of using the night scene mode, and we usually keep our camera set to auto. Now here's an image set on auto. Take a look at this. This image was taken at night with our camera set on auto mode. The reason we place our cameras in the night scene mode during the evening hours is because we want to see the city lights or the lights behind our subject, which is what's known as the ambient lighting. Now, to get to the night scene mode, we look on the dial of our camera and look for the letters SCN for scene. And once we find that on our camera, we're going to go back into our function button and we're going to hit that and we're going to find the night scene mode setting. Now, like the symbol we showed you earlier, that's usually a generalized symbol, so look for something that resembles that symbol we showed you. So, then again, why are we in night scene mode? Well, because what happens is the camera gives us a little bit longer exposure, even with the flash on and off, and allows us to see the lights going on in the background. Because that is a better way to get the exposure during the evening hours than keeping our cameras just set to auto mode. Now, here's a shot using our night scene mode setting. Another nice addition to the night scene mode setting is that we get to use our flash. We also get to turn it off. But the nice thing is the flash acts as a fill light during the long exposure of capturing those ambient background lights. Now we can also turn it off. Now we have a sample to show you like before, but this time we turned off the flash. Take a look. There's a few other things to consider. And to help us understand and give us a few more tips on night scene mode setting, my partner Santino is going to step in and discuss this a little more with us.
Tip number one, keeping your camera steady. Why do we need to do this? Because when we photograph at nighttime or in our night scene mode, we are opening our shutter speed longer, which brings in more ambient light. But that might create some blurriness. Now, another way to avoid that is to make sure that your camera is really steady because we're lowering that shutter speed. Another way to do this is to carry one of these tripods around. It doesn't have to be this big, but something to keep you steady. Tip number two, remember, when photographing at nighttime, we recommend that you use a diffuser on your flash because the flash might be too hot. You're also photographing at nighttime and that scene is pretty contrasty. So by putting a diffuser on, it will soften your flash and you won't get any hot spots. When you use something like paper, these flash units right now on these cameras are pretty powerful and they might burn that paper. You can pick up one of these diffused material any art store or photographic store, but make sure it's opaque so you have a nice softness to your photos. Tip number three is our exposure compensation. Now, I want to make sure when you buy a point and shoot camera that it has this function in the camera that you buy. Now, your exposure compensation is an important function. Why? Because it helps us darken or lighten our ambient light in our night scenes, because it could help you in many different situations, not only in a night scene mode. Daytime, nighttime, it gets you to be more creative with your exposures and get the mood that you really want. If you want to learn more about those tips I just showed you, we have 3 videos, one called Flash Diffuser, the other one called Keeping Your Camera Steady, and Exposure Compensation. Here's some sample images using the tips we just showed you.
So practice getting yourself out of the auto mode setting and using your night scene mode settings. And look to our other segments on the basic scene modes. We want you to be a creative photographer and be a smart photographer.
For the best tips on digital photography, look to us here on Digital 1-to-1.